One of the most important items is the snapshot. You can drag that out to the desktop and connect it to any other snapshot with a deployment arrow. What this lets you do is bring metadata down from a Salesforce account, and then you can report on it or you can push it from one snapshot to another snapshot. So in order to do that, double-click the item, and it will bring up the Take Snapshot interface. And here you select a Salesforce account that you want to take a snapshot of. Let's go through some of the options here. So here you can browse for a file, for example, a package XML file, and that will automatically help you select the assets in the tabs that are coming up forward. There's also these 6 radio buttons. Let's go through those. So Load Selected Packages will actually load the data associated with any managed or unmanaged package. So you don't normally want to do that, but if you do want to move packages around, then you actually need to load the packages that you select. Load Package Customizations will automatically bring in all of the unpackaged assets and customizations that are associated with the selected packages. So those are the reflected parts of managed packages and unmanaged packages into the unpackaged assets. Load Extra Object Information uses the Tooling API and the Force.com REST API to load some additional information, especially about objects, that's quite useful for the data dictionary and some of the other reports. Now there's a limit of 10,000 assets that you can load, and so if you want to display the number of selected assets that you're selecting, if you're worried about getting too close to the limit, you can select this for the regular assets and this for the folder-based assets. It takes a while to calculate all of that, but it will help you make a really large snapshot if that's what you need to do. And lastly, Display Package Customizations will display all of the managed and unmanaged package information in the other lists where you can select things. So for example, custom objects will include objects from managed packages and unmanaged packages. So you probably want this normally to be on. Okay, so once you've set up everything the way you want it, you click Next. Now on this screen you can select Packages, Profiles, Permission Sets, and Custom Objects. So you can see right now we have no packages, all profiles, no permission sets, and all custom objects for this snapshot. If you want to select individual things, just click Selected, and you can select anything that you want, and you can shift click and multiple select, shift select, whatever you want to do to bring these assets in. Let's just go with all custom objects and click Next. Now you'll see roles, groups, queues, and custom object translations. So for roles, you can just select whichever ones you want, whatever you need to select here. Then we get to other assets where we can select page layouts, Apex classes, and Apex pages. Over here on the right is a last column for all of the other assets that are available. So the logic here is if it's a metadata type that is either very numerous or very big in size, we let you select the actual objects by name. And then other assets over here is a catch-all for everything else that really isn't that big or that numerous. It makes it very quick and easy to select things here. And lastly, we have the folder-based assets. So you can select folders, whatever you need to select. You probably don't need to select documents. There's usually a lot of documents, and they tend to take up a lot of room, so you probably don't want to select documents unless you just have to. And so there we go, and we're ready to take the snapshot. So over here in the snapshot comments, it will show us everything that we're loaded, and you can also add your own comments to this area. You can also select what type of snapshot you want to create. You can store the asset data in the file, which makes a human readable snapshot, but for a large org, that could be just a huge amount of data. You can store compressed data in the file, which is probably the best all-around choice. Or you can just store a reference to the data. This works fine, but it leaves all of the metadata files on your hard disk. And so this can end up making, a lot of files on there. But that's fine if you're okay with that. So let's just select compressed data and let's take a snapshot. Okay, there we go. We've taken our snapshot. And don't forget, you can always schedule a snapshot. One very common use case is just to have a recurring event, say on Friday night, and then every week, however long you want to go for, you can take a snapshot, and then and after that you can save the snapshot to a folder, send it to Salesforce content, whatever you want to do. A very, very common use case is to schedule a snapshot. Once you've done all of that, now your snapshot has all of the different reports available, and of course it can be used as a source or a destination for pushing metadata.